Because you're going to be doing a radio
do something.
show soon, can't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a radio show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
Go on.
In Northumbria Uni.
For the student station.
Yeah. And it's broadcast, around our local area. But
Yeah.
for 4 hours during the week, I'm on for 3 hours. Which I'm
Just
really
by
good at.
yourself.
No, I'm going to have a lad with me from Ipswich.
Oh,
He's
that's
going to be
cool.
my co-presenter. And I'm just going to bring in someone. If I can find anyone similar to Angela, then they will be getting an invitation. If you're any time up north, then you can come and have a little
Have
play.
it
in the
with
That would be
station or
cool.
something.
I did a show for De Montfort, Demon FM, their student radio station, with a strange, bizarre friend of mine who I lived with while I was at uni, and I just basically used it as a platform to wind him up and play. Because we got to play our own music. We didn't have to follow their playlist.
That's exactly it. Like, we'll
So-
be playing some fantastic music.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be some brilliant chat as well. But
Cool.
no,
Can we get that over the internet?
yeah, you will be able to get on the
Can
internet
you
as well.
stream it and that?
But again, like, I'm a terrible ambassador because I don't even know the website. I don't even know
Or the name of the radio
Yeah,
station?
it's just
You'll have to learn that before you're on air.
Yeah.
I will have to learn that.
Or at
There's
least
gonna
have it written down in front of you.
be- yeah.
Well,
There'll be a text number and stuff for people to text in and ask for requests. I'm not going to play them, but a bit of satisfaction. Loads of texts I've got to work through. I'm sorry, Marie, I won't be able to play Kings of Leon. And I'll tell them, like, of course they should. And then put a bat on. No, they're not. They're quite nice, but sorry. Is
Just
that
in case
liable?
Kings of Leon are
Yeah,
listening.
is that liable? If not, buy the album. Brilliant, fantastic album. Screwed off that. No, we are.
no, you're right.
But yeah,
That's opinion. You can say anyone's shit.
brilliant. But no, they're fantastic.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it's
On the
not
public.
Yeah, definitely. You can only say something that might compromise them sort of legally, like make an accusation or something like that.
Oh.
like
Call someone
the
shit.
drummer
If
from
you
Kings of
said
Leon
they're
plays
shit-
with kids.
Yes,
Yeah.
that you can't
That,
say.
that would be like.
Don't
Don't
can't
say
say-
that.
don't say
yeah,
that.
Yeah. So
No.
what we won't be saying is
Well,
exactly that.
No, we'll get out of the comments.
So that's
Definitely.
okay.
Right.
Definitely.
So yeah,
When
the
you
last-
say, do you mean he plays in the band?
yeah,
Yeah,
gets
that's,
pieces.
that's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you say that, that's okay.
Right.
So going back a step, then we've had
Oh,
quite a
Kev's
poetic-
favourite word.
quite a poetic,
Yeah.
That was
Uh,
over 15 minutes ago.
sort of-
Fantastic.
educated favourite word,
Yeah.
and we'll
I know
do a
what
bit
to
more on that later. But
Yeah.
let's pass that over to Angela.
Does she know?
Favourite word?
Yeah.
Right. The first word that
No,
popped
you're allowed
into
one.
my
You're
head,
allowed one.
I decided I didn't really like.
Well, don't say that. Then.
What was
And
it?
then the
What was
second
it?
one,
Or oh, huh?
no, it was
What?
just a really, really long word. And then I
Super-
came up with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's
And I
not
just
a
thought,
word.
that's
That's
not
not a
it.
word.
Doesn't
What's
count.
next?
Your word has to have a
Pretty cool.
meaning.
Although that's linked quite nicely to what I said, because that is
Yeah.
onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it sounds like it means. That's
No. Isn't automatic?
Yeah, that's what the song's about,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is.
right. But what is it? It's nothing.
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Nothing, but it sounds like nothing,
It
obviously.
sounds like it is.
Come on
Um,
then. Favourite word that's not. It has to be a real word.
Oh, it's a thinker.
Do you want to look through the dictionary and
Really
come
to
back?
thinker.
Don't have it.
No.
Well, it is.
I
No,
can
to be
think.
fair, it's really.
I've
It's
never
really
heard
difficult.
that.
To be
It's a
put on the
thinker.
spot.
Well, you've had about 10 minutes. When
I
since
know,
we
and
said
I
then
was
you
not
told
on
me
the
a word,
spot.
and I really thought I had a good word, and then you told me it's not a word, so
Well,
I've got to come up with a
Do
new
you
one.
want a hand?
Well, if you'd thought of a word to start with,
I did.
it's an easy question, isn't it? It doesn't require. It's just a nice thing to ask. What's your favourite word?
Whichever the first one you think of probably isn't your favourite word.
Yeah.
Wall.
This is dead air, Angela. This isn't
I
allowed.
can't.
That's
We'll
a
come back to
radio
it. We'll
crime.
come back to
Okay.
it. We can't have this. We'll come back to
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay.
Quizzical, that's quite a nice word.
That is quite
Just
a
'cause
nice
it's
word.
quite-
Yeah.
You know what it means?
Because
Yeah,
people
kind
can't
of
see that
cool.
face you put and explain it.
Yeah, it's kind
If there was a little bit of a head wobble,
of. No, explain the words.
Explain the
No,
real words.
Are you real? And I get this is real.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I did a bit of a head wobble and I put my drink down. And then I
Oh, that's it.
smiled.
Oh, one of those type of words. Yeah, you get it.
They do
Brilliant.
that in a Fry and Laurie sketch, don't they? Instead of saying names, there's a sketch where someone gives their name by dropping a book,
No,
just
I
making
haven't.
a sound. Have you not seen that? It's called
I
a
haven't
bit of Fry and Laurie. So
I've
they're
heard
on
of it,
sketch
but I
shows.
haven't seen
There's a
it.
really good one where a guy every time he says his name, he makes a sound. And he goes, and the guy like opposite him, I think it's Stephen Fry, goes, "Don't you mean?" or something like that. And he goes, "No, I mean," and like drops a book, and it's all quite amusing.
He's a very clever guy. Stephen.
Before we go any further, can I just update us? It's a bit premature, but in the last podcast we mentioned a penguin that had a wetsuit made. Do you remember? And I said, no, this wouldn't happen.
Never.
This wouldn't happen.
And I said it must be true.
It didn't happen.
What do you mean it must be?
Wasn't it because it was on Have I Got News For You or something?
Right, yeah,
Metro.
and I
Yeah,
said
in the Metro.
it wouldn't happen,
Right.
right?
As a neutral party, right? When you mentioned this in the podcast, okay, immediately I thought there was either the penguin had an injury, okay, or it was a test to show what we can now do and what we can now create, okay. So
One of
if
those things.
if a penguin in the future had a problem, okay, as like manufacturing, we can then put together something to help the penguin swim, dive, whatnot,
A
right?
penguin suit.
Yeah.
Synthetic
But
penguin.
it's not because it didn't have waterproof skin. This is the crucial thing.
This is ridiculous.
Angela was actually right. There was a penguin that had a wetsuit
I've
made.
seen it.
Yeah,
It was on
but it was
Animator.com.
because it started
Really?
losing its feathers and it couldn't stay warm, so they had to come. A wetsuit keeps you warm in water, doesn't it? And a penguin lives in water. It's not because it had porous skin and water was flowing in and it would have drowned.
Can I
But
just...
luckily, someone picked it out and said, "Right, let's get a wetsuit made." So that's what I was. So really, the story as it was, that's why I was saying no, this couldn't happen. And really, it is a bit different, isn't it?
Great, can I butt in there?
Yes.
Right, Kev just cleared everything up for me by saying it was on Ananova.com, right? Where we've already seen headlines such as "Dog loves his sunglasses," right?
That's true, he does.
"Chimps kill with premeditated murder," right? Or something like that.
Well,
It's a reputable news website.
It's
But
ridiculous.
there really was a photo with a penguin with a wetsuit on, and it was exactly like it sounded. It looked like a real human wetsuit, but just really tiny. Really
Still with
tiny.
the O'Neill badge on it.
Yeah, it actually did, because I think they'd made it out of other parts of other wetsuits
Oh, right,
and
okay.
sewed it together. So yeah, I think it did have something like that on it.
well, let's before we sort of look at various articles from the animal news world.
Yeah, it's even-
Let's just stay on the penguin theme.
Oh,
I've got something here. I can't remember where I got it because I had to copy and paste.
wait,
it,
shouldn't we have some
basically.
sort of jingle for penguin news? Like, because there
You-
seems to always be a lot.
Okay, well, there's not a lot. There's only that what we've done in this one. It's for I think for penguins. We can have some sort of jingle.
For penguin news.
Can you think what noise do penguins make, Angela? Do you know?
I don't. It's about the one animal that I can't do.
What
impressions
animals
of.
can you do?
What she's brilliant at the ladybird. What do you mean? It's the one animal you can't do. I would think, given that there's 2
Alright.
billion animals in the world.
Someone discovered species
I can
as
do
well.
a good
No, she-
rooster. That's
Yeah,
Go on then, let's
that's,
see.
that's not useful for penguins.
No,
No,
it's
no.
not.
Yeah, go on. We'll have a rooster noise for the jingle.
Why?
Well, it's okay, we can edit it. Just the noise and then go into it.
No, rooster's not going to be good.
Well, penguin. What about the Pingu theme tune? Can you do the Pingu theme tune, Angela? Penguin news.
And that's not a theme. A theme is a piece of music. That's,
Okay, that's all Pingu does.
You know
Right.
what? Because we didn't explain that to anyone, everyone thinks that was you making the noise.
Which would have been really impressive.
Yeah. To be fair, that penguin there made more sense than she has all night.